Recap in minutes. Today we will be going through a drama, war, and thriller movie from 2014 named Camp X-Ray. There will be spoilers ahead in this video, so chill out and enjoy. The movie begins with the September 11th attacks on the Twin Towers on television. A middle-aged man enters the house, who just bought a shopping bag with a lot of cell phones. He starts to perform Salah, an Islamic prayer, and gets captured by the American Army and taken to the Guantanamo Bay detention camp. They put him in a cage in Camp Delta under the strict watch of the military. The movie then picks up 8 years later, when Army Private First Class Amy Cole reaches the camp along with other newly enlisted Army fellows. The next moment, Corporal Ransdell explains the rules of rotating the shift every 12 hours, and it is then she is made aware that some of the detainees have been there for the last 8 years. He tells them that that is their war zone, as the detainees will not hesitate to attack them. And that they will not only prevent them from leaving the cells, but they are there to prevent them from dying or committing suicide. They have to conduct a suicide watch every 3 minutes. Now Private Rico Cruz asks him how often they move the prisoners. The corporal corrects him saying that they will not refer to them as prisoners, they are going to call them detainees. He asks Amy why they cannot call them the prisoners. Amy explains to him that the prisoners are subject to Geneva Conventions, but detainees are not. After that, the corporal shows them the facility centers, room, control center, and the mess of the camp. There he gets a report on the radio that some detainee is found causing trouble in the cell. He responds that they are coming, and then he asks them if anyone wants to see how the initial reaction force works. Amy raises her hand to join his team. The next moment, the IRF team prepares and walks to take the detainee under control. Then they reach there, they forward to tackle him but Amy remains reluctant to touch him. When she collects herself to join them, he hits her face cover with his elbow, causing her to stagger backward. Somehow, they capture him. The detainee spits on her face when her fellow guards take him out of the cell. This angers Amy, who hits him back. They tie him to a chair and lock him in another cell. On her way back to the base, her fellow soldiers ask her what happened to her lip. She details them saying that she was following her IRF team members to control a detainee and got hit by him. The next day, she prepares to go to the camp. They assign her the duty to give out the books to the detainees. She pushes the book cart from door to door, asking them if they need anything to read. When she reaches a cell, where the detainee was having a pee, he shouts at her when he finds her seeing him. Corporal Ransdell comes forward and shouts back at him to remain silent. The detainee says he wants a book, but Ransdell would have to give it to him instead of a woman. The corporal explains to her that the detainees do not like to be watched when they are naked, and they even do not like women doing work there. After that, she pushes the cart forward and reaches the cell of a man, which was shown at the beginning of the movie, named Ali Amir. He returns a book and asks for another book on Harry Potter. Amy gets impressed by his choice of books because it was not religious. Now Amy says she does not have anything like that in her cart. Ali rants about how he has been asking for that latest book of the Harry Potter series for the last 2 years. She gets annoyed and asks him if he wants a book or not, because all they have is what is on the cart. He then asks her to be patient and give him a book of Azkaban. Amy asks him if it is an Arab book, and he corrects her saying that it is book number 3 of Harry Potter. Meanwhile, the corporal comes there seeing them chatting. He removes the basket from the cell and asks Amy to leave. Ali shouts at him saying that they were having some conversation but he spoiled it. He says to him that he thinks they do not give him the last Harry Potter book on purpose, to drive him crazy. He yells at him saying that he is not going crazy. The following day, Amy starts doing rounds of the cell to watch the cells. When she stops to check on Ali, he starts a conversation with her again. He calls her Blondie and asks where she is from. She walks ignoring her. Now he introduces himself to her and talks about Harry Potter and religions. She responds this time and says she thought he only read the Quran. He said he does but he likes to read other books too. He says he reads the Bible too, and his opinion about the Bible is that the first half of the book is good and interesting, as it has stories about armies and magic. But the other half is not very interesting. She replies that if he will not disrespect her holy book, she will not do his. Now he asks how she picked her Christianity. She ignores it. He says he knows that it was from her parents. She gets angry, shuts him up, and compares him to Hannibal Lecter. When he asks her who that is, she tells him that he was a man in the movie that was very talkative. He says something in Arabic and she sees every other detainee start covering their Quran. Now Ali asks for some water and promises to stop talking. She opens the hole in his cell door and gives him the water bottle. Suddenly, Ali throws a cup filled with feces at her. She calls the IRF team and tells them to watch them carefully when they cover the Qurans, because they are about to do something after that. After that, She goes to the sink to wash her uniform. Colonel Drummond asks her about the incident, and gives her the vinegar to remove the smell. The next day, Amy's unit goes on a yacht fishing. Corporal Ransdell tries to flirt with Amy but she turns him down. At night, Amy drinks with them at the beach party and excuses them to go to the washroom. She finds an adult magazine there and meanwhile, Ransdell comes there following her. She kisses him, showing him the magazine. When he tries to undress her, she asks him to stop. And when he does not stop, she pushes him away and leaves the washroom. In the next scene, Amy reaches the camp and sees that Ollie's cell is being investigated. She gets fascinated by the beautiful hand-drawn strokes on his cup. The guard also takes that cup for investigation. Ollie is seen being transferred to different cells every 2 hours as his punishment. After a while, they take him back to his cell. As she is curious about his interests, Amy sneaks to find his files. When she finds it, she sees his injured photos and records. She learns that she has a history of self-harm and torture. The next day, Amy returns to her rounds and finds Ollie doing some artwork on his Sudoku puzzle. He tells her that as he reads all the books, he likes testing his knowledge through these puzzles. He then asks her to answer that puzzle but she refuses. He snaps and calls out Amy for being cold to him. He gets angry and flashes his work in the toilet. He yells at her, saying that they think they are good guys and we are bad guys. He says the Americans are real terrorists for locking them up for years. Amy shuts him up again, and when he calms down, she tells him that she looked for his Harry Potter book and she could not find it in the archives. However, Ollie claims that one of the guards told him that there's a 7th book, so he believes there is one. She says that the guard fooled him. He then apologizes for demanding the book, and he confesses that he's been waiting to know the ending of Harry Potter for so long, that it's making him crazy. After some time, Amy guards Ollie, while he was playing with a ball inside the cage. They both get friendly at this time. Amy tells him that she can get him transferred to a suitable facility if he stops acting weird. But he does not care about the military rules. He argues with her, saying that it means surrendering his rights to the one who captured him. Suddenly, Mahmoud, another detainee with guards around him, appears behind and yells at him for talking with Amy. She notices that they don't like it when a detainee talks to the guards. Then Corporal calls her and he says the guards don't like Cole talking to him as well. Ransdell didn't like her talking to detainee, so he lied about his men being occupied with some other stuff there. He then asks her instead to watch Ollie's shower. She argues with him, saying that it is against the standard operating procedure of the army and Arabic social norms. But he ignores her and takes them to the shower fence and forces Amy to watch him bathe. At night, her fellow soldiers come to her and ask her why she is drinking. Amy tries to sympathize with Cruz, who was supposed to watch the showers with Ransdell, but they were too busy cleaning up a detainee cell. Cruz gets confused and tells her that the block was peaceful all the time. Amy realizes that Ransdell lied to her, and then she files a report against Ransdell at night. The next day she was summoned to their colonel's office. The colonel sides with Ransdell, and discredits her report, saying that the detainee was not uncomfortable with her watching him. He says he found her being too friendly with Ollie. He dismisses her, saying that there will be a hearing about their case next month. For some time in the movie, she continues to do her duty to guard the detainees and becomes more isolated from the other soldiers. In the next scene, while she was cleaning the cell, a soldier comes there with her transfer letter. She gets transferred to the night shift in the camp. Ollie looks at the clock outside of his cell and asks the guard if the time is right. When he says it is right, he asks him where the blondie is, but he ignores him. At night, Amy comes to the camp and starts her round checks. She passes by Ollie's cell and sees him sleeping. She walks away before Ollie calls out to her and gets up. Amy sympathetically tells him to go back to sleep, but he says that he never gets any decent sleep because of the constant light in the cell. He asks her why she is there at that time, and she then explains that she snitched on someone. Ollie doesn't know what the word snitch on means. She tells him the meaning of the word, and he then realizes that the person she snitched on was Ransdell. Ollie asks her why she came there in the camp in the first place. She turns the question on him, and he assures her that he was not with any terrorist group. Then they start to talk about their hometowns. Ollie tells him that he is from Germany, while Amy simply says that she is from a small town. After some time, Ollie asks her what date it was, and she tells him that it's July 14th. He then realizes that she will be leaving next month. She asks him how he knows this. He tells her that they do the guards change every August. He asks her if she would try to get assigned to the camp again, to which she says no. Amy mentions that she has learned a lot from her time there, and that the new guards would eventually learn too. Ollie reminds her that the two of them are enemies, and he then gets his Quran and takes out a blade that was hidden between the pages. When she sees him holding the blade, she tries to radio the control room. But he warns her that if she tries to radio the other guards, then he will cut himself immediately. Now he tells her that he is tired of being imprisoned there. He knows that no one is coming to take him out of that cell. He also says that one person in one of their interrogations proved him innocent, but they never free him. After that, Amy tries to calm him down by telling him her name and that she is from Moore Haven, a town of Florida. She then asks Ali if there's a zoo in Bremen, which surprises him. Amy explains that she went to the zoo when she was a child, because she wanted to see something outside of her town. She tells him that she felt uncomfortable then to see the animal locked up in small cages. Eventually, she tells him that they should have the chance to be free. In the next scene, Ali cries and then gives the blade to Amy. She holds his hand as she cries too. She packs up her things from her room before leaving. The movie ends when a soldier knocks on his door. He gets up and sees that it's a new soldier who's trying to give out books. Ali notices something in the cart and tells the soldier to give it to him. He found out that it is the last Harry Potter book. He looks at the cover page where there's a note from Amy. The next moment, Amy leaves the camp while Ali sits on his bed reading. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe Recap in Minutes for more videos like this, and help the channel grow.